Hey everybody, how's it going? I said I wanted to make this video before, and it's about getting this trim off. I got it off of this one, but this can be a real pain in the ass if you don't go slow and you really tear some trim up and waste a lot of money. First thing you're going to need to do this, and just a disclaimer. People may, I'm sure I'm going to hear 100 people saying, oh, you're doing this wrong. Well, it works for me. So really, that's all I care about. It works for me, and it may help you out. You're going to need this little guy right here. Not sure what it's called, not sure a part number, but you go through your part stores or Super Harbor Freight and you see one of these, pick it up if you're ever going to be doing this job. Now this trim, okay, boy, that was screwed up. Okay, as I was saying, this trim usually on this back, let's see, you got your bottom piece of trim and that screws into all these little holes. There's like 6 of them. You take those 6 little screws out, and then this corner right here, you got to fight that because all this dirt. This dirt is the worst thing ever. This job would be 100 times easier if these things didn't collect dirt, but like anything else, 40 some odd year old car, it's going to collect some dirt. And where you take this bottom piece off, and then this side, the driver's side, goes underneath the passenger side. So what you're going to do is you always start on the passenger side. And when you get into these little clips right here, you're not going to be able to see them. But let me see if I can get this right here. What you're going to want to do is get in behind them and pull them forward. That's what this little guy does here. You're going to go up under the trim here, and you're going to get in behind this, just like that right there, and pull that clip forward. Once you pull that clip forward, it's going to pop. Now, the problem comes when you have all of this dirt and grime. Makes it very hard to pop that clip forward. So you have to fight with it, but don't get too crazy. Don't get too muscle bound and try and bend and stuff, because once you bend that trim, it's real hard to get it straight. I don't think I've ever successfully been able to get any bent trim straight. But yeah, and it's the same on the back windows as the windshield. Mine doesn't have windshield in it. And when you go to replace those little clips, all they do is just screw in. Where are we at here? All they do is just screw in. Right there. And the clip looks kind of like this. Now, as you can see, I'm having problems. Stripped out screw. Not sure how I'm going to remedy that, but I'm probably going to end up buying new clips for the front. The back, I'm just going to leave alone. Going to clean this channel out real good. And I'm just going to tape off right here because I don't like taking back windows out. I'm going to tape off right here. And when I paint this, I don't care if I get paint on here because I'm painting the damn thing black anyway. I don't care if I get paint in here, but I would rather mask it like this than try to mask around the trim, because this one, someone tried to mask around the trim and the trim has red paint on it, and I don't like that. All right. Now, this one may send some people over the edge, but this is how I do it. And like I said before, it works for me. I'm not telling everybody to do it this way, but it works for me. Okay, you can see I put this piece of trim back on. It's not on here real good. But these side trims, everybody's so scared of these. Everybody I talk to. Well, What I do to get these off is you take a pair of channel locks, very lightly hook one of these little edges underneath there, and then you just pop up. And then you hold it, and then you pop it up and hold it. And just go very, very gently all the way down the edge. And as you see, it'll start coming off. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there. I'm sure there's some special crazy tool to do this job. But if you're very gentle and don't squeeze down or be crazy with it, you can generally pop these off and not have them hurt. And that is my little short Chrysler trim tutorial. I'm going to be blowing this car apart again. And I don't know if I'll add this little trim tutorial onto the video of me taking this thing apart. But I do a lot of work by myself. And getting hoods and stuff off by yourself is never fun, but it can be done. You just have to be very careful. I'll show you guys that here in just a minute. All right, here's how I take a hood off. You're by yourself. And I know this may sound like common sense, but a lot of times you'll get crazy and get in a hurry and common sense kind of goes out the window, but you've got a top bolt and a bottom bolt. I always take, if you're by yourself, you take the top bolts out first. You loosen the bottom bolt a little bit, then you take the top bolts out first. And yes, having these little guns is worth it. Let that slide down. Come over here. Loose the bottom bolt. Let that slide down. Take out top bolt. Then the hinge should hold itself. Then you come over here and you take out the bottom bolt. Let that slide down to the cowl. You never let go of the hood. You reach over here. Take that second bottom bolt. Ta-da! Don't fall. Ta-da! Shit. Well, this was a little Hurst shifter I picked up at a swap meet. It was kind of rusty, and I've just been lubing it up. I bolted it down to the table here, just kind of squirt a little lube on it, run it through its paces. It came out of it, but yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll go back to working on the duster. All right, now we have to take this little filler panel out here. And this thing is not bolted together all the way. I just put it back together, kind of mocking everything up. Bolt on each side. Put the loose screws. Okay. What's holding you on that? Oh, the screws like that. Okay. There you go. You'll be fine. Oh, that makes that easy to get to. Get a piece out. Stay wherever you say. That's something else I always try to do is put the bolts back where they came from. Because if you're anything like me, you'll just end up with a big bucket of bolts. Alright, finger. You weren't on there very good at all. Now there's normally, I don't know if you can see right out, 2 bolts down here, but they want to put back on, so. There's Mr. Finger. These things are so damn awkward. You can't store them anywhere. Duster's getting naked. Might have to age restrict this video. Duster nudity. Oh, I thought that was safe on me. I guess not. Not sure if I'm using that fender or not. And there, my friends, is almost a completely naked Duster front end. Almost. Okay, now, how do you deal with doors? Oops. Doors can be tricky by yourself. I know these Dusters, they have 4 bolts on the inside and 2 bolts on the outside. Now the way I do this is I take the 4 bolts out on the inside, leave the outside ones, close the door, make sure it latches good enough. Then you take the two bolts out on the outside, grab somewhere in here where you're not going to cut the shit out of yourself, unlatch the door, and you should be able to walk away with it. In theory. Well, let's see how this theory works. It's already got the inside bolts out. All right, latched, sort of, bolts out of the front, or on the inside. I don't know why I always do that. You should take the top and the bottom one out first. Holding it in with my leg here. I need a place that does not cut the shit out of me. There we go. Unlatch the door. And off comes the door. Okay. Ta-da! Again. Okay, now the trunk lid is the easiest one to take off, the easiest major piece to take off. So all you're going to do is take these bolts out like this. Slides down and kind of rests in there all by itself. Then all you gotta do is figure out where you're going with it. Grab it and pull. You asshole. Yeah, and that's it. That's basically how you get all the big crap off of a duster. All right. Now I know people are going to tell me I'm dumb, doing all that by myself and all the heavy lifting. Well, you know, some of us don't have a whole big crew of people hanging out in the garage like, I don't know, Bad Tree Productions. Most of us is just us. And I've seen people shy away from doing things like that. And, you know, oh, I got to get a friend to come help me with this. I'm not going to get it done. Well, you don't have to have anybody help you. You can do this stuff yourself. I mean, unless you're a 95-pound weakling, but, you know, you'll be sitting here. I probably look like Jabba the Hutt with my fat ass. And, anyway, but, yeah, it's just to prove that you can do it. You don't always need help. There's ways to get your projects going and finished and started. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. Oh, there was one other thing. When I showed my awesome Bad Tree collection, I didn't mention one of my prized possessions. There, right there, is my Hemi valve cover that I got from my good friend and world famous YouTuber Jed Scott of Scott Speed Shop. Yeah, I got that from him. I know powerful people. All right, we'll see you later.